Here I was, downloading Tor browser looking for any website selling those $50 mystery boxes. I thought it'd be hilarious. It wasn't. I was totally new to the dark web, so finding this stuff wasn't easy. I had to rely on Reddit to get me started in the right direction. Determination led me to the promised land, and quickly, I was coughing up my credit card for a $50 mystery box from hell I'd so desperately and ignorantly wanted. The product title was Pandora's Box, foreshadowing at best had I realized what I was getting myself into. I'd say the title was pretty complimentary, very accurate. It only took a day to get to my house, packaged in a jet black container made out of plastic with a red ribbon tied on the top. The printed sticky tag on the box didn't tell me who it was from, though I knew. Discreet shipping at its finest. The box was heavier than I imagined it would be, a weight of at least 50 pounds. Whatever was inside felt like it was sloshing around. When I got it to the island in my kitchen and set it on the marble countertop, my back was tense. Here we go. I was on edge, but excited to rip the ribbon off and open the box. Didn't even grab scissors, just manhandled it with my bare hands, like a 10-year-old on Christmas morning. Lifting the lid off the top of it, a strange smell wafted up. It smelled like a hot dump, if I'm being real with you. The entire box was filled with this brown liquid. I'd have to get my hands dirty, because I knew that I didn't blow the $50 I barely had on cow manure, or something close to that. I had to see what else was in there. You know where this is going. I didn't have any gloves and didn't feel like going to the store to get some. I thought about wrapping a towel around my hands, but didn't. It would just soak up the stuff. I went in barehanded, raw dogging all the germs, diseases, and God knows what else with a disturbed look on my face. Not my proudest moment. I could feel something tough and square, almost slick and cold to the touch. I kept catching a feel for it, and after a good reach around, I could tell it was another box. Sifting through whatever this substance was with disgust, officially coming to the realization of what I was doing on this Tuesday morning, I had the urge to pull my hands out, throw the box and everything else inside it away, scrub my hands down to the bone with bleach, and forget I ever ordered it. I'm still not sure if this entire thing, the transaction and all, was legal. I'm sure a lawyer would get a kick out of the story. The judge would probably think I'm an idiot and let me walk out on the basis of sympathy alone. Poor kid, dumb kid, he suffered enough. But no, that's not what I did. I lifted that box out of the brown slime and took a gander. It was a metal lunchbox. Even Helen Keller could have told you that, though she'd probably missed that it was not only a lunchbox but a Toy Story 3 one. Good movie. Weird place to put a lunchbox. The weight of it spoke to something inside. Several items, it seemed. I was just hoping nothing was alive in it. Some demented jack-in-the-box. One was one of those McDonald's Happy Meal toys or something. I think it was Grimace. The next was an eraser in the shape of a basketball. Or was it a baseball? Hard to tell with the slime. Then there was an envelope inside a plastic baggie. Inside the envelope was a picture of a boy. Couldn't be older than a kindergartner. Along with it, a letter begging Santa to bring him back home so he could see his mom and dad again. You know those games where you are given a set of choices and each one leads you down a different path, whether it be death or just another set of choices? It's usually just a text game, so there aren't any graphics. The whole point is to see how far you can get, and you never know when the choice you made will end the game, either by consuming something that was poisonous or opening a box filled with flesh-eating spiders. Every decision is fair game. I can't remember for the life of me what that kind of game is called. Maybe Dungeon Crawler? Anyway, I found something like that on the dark net. The game is called Prisoner's Keeper. Here's the description. A game where choices truly matter. Control the fate of a prisoner and escape the dungeon. Every move could be their last. They're counting on you. It's that simple. Just connect with the server and let the fun begin. That's right up my alley, I thought. A pretty weird place for this type of game, but there are tons of normal websites on the internet that are hard to find. Just look something up on Google and scroll to the bottom and look at the page number. You could be there for a lifetime tapping from one page to the next without ever finding it at all. Most searches bring back several billion links. It makes sense when put in that perspective. Once I connected to a server, I was put in a lobby with what I guess was the host, though they wouldn't be playing. Spectating, I guess? There was little conversation beyond a little rundown of the rules. Number 1, don't leave your computer until it's over. If you do, the person dies. If your internet service is suspended, no matter the reason, power outage, packet loss, your house gets hit by a meteorite, etc., the person dies. Number 2, you have 30 seconds to make a decision on what path to choose. If you don't, the person dies. Simple enough. All I had to do was click ready and I was off to the races. Let the games begin. The prisoner wakes up in a dark room. Do they A, feel around for a light switch, or B, call for help? I chose A. The prisoner cut their foot, somehow stumbling in the dark, but managed to find the switch. Now they're bleeding profusely. There's a door across the room. Do they A, use their shirt as a tourniquet, or B, manage the wound later and get out through the door? I chose A. The bleeding has stopped, and the prisoner enters through the door. 7 feet in front of them is another door, except between them and the door is a 50-foot drop-off. There seems to be a ledge hugging the wall all the way from them to the other door. Do they A, take the ledge, or B, jump the gap? I considered it carefully. I had just cut my foot. I'd probably get a weak jump at best. I'm not sure how big that ledge is. It might be impossible to go by the ledge, and they didn't tell me how wide the ledge was. Could it fit my player's 2 feet? I reluctantly chose B. The prisoner jumped the gap, but not without taking a bang to their shin. Looks like that cut-up foot held them back a little, but they made it, at the cost of a limb. Now they're in a room filling up with nerve gas. In front of them are 3 chests. In one of them is a code that unlocks a safe on the wall to their right. In that safe is a mask to protect them from the toxic fumes. They can only choose one. Do they A, choose the far left chest, B, choose the center chest, or C, choose the far right chest? I was playing a game of probability now, a game where my choice is completely arbitrary, almost mindless. That didn't stop me from using nearly the allotted 30 seconds to pick one of them. I chose B, right in the middle. If the object was in any other chest, I'd have guessed right beside it, versus picking one of the further ones and being over a chest away. At least that's how my logic worked out. All arbitrary. It didn't really matter. Chance was in control. The prisoner finds nothing inside and awaits his fate. Some time passed and then the prisoner is dead. Well, game over, but that was pretty fun, so I loaded back up for round 2. This time I was left waiting for a little while. I asked the host what was going on, said they were getting the next prisoner ready. I played about 5 more games until I wasn't allowed to play anymore. The last host told me to come back in a week when they'd gotten more prisoners. I was laid off from my job in 2022, without any reason other than the market is not doing good and there just isn't enough work. I'd saved just enough over the last couple years to afford myself some very short downtime, a mini vacation as some would say, 2 months tops. Some of the perks of being at home all day include, but aren't limited to, being absolutely bored out of your mind, and that's pretty much it, at least for me. My mini vacation was driving me absolutely nuts within the first week. I was finding the most random things to do. I reorganized my kitchen cabinets, read poetry. Can't believe I did that second thing. Honestly, both. I even started jogging. I was 25. I felt 40. Things weren't looking good. My new worldly obsessions took a deep dive once I started perusing the internet. I became chronically online, stuck behind a screen for at least 10 hours of the day. I'd gained 15 pounds in a month. Then I found something that changed the game of what was my boring life. It was a website that paid people to record themselves doing outrageous things for its viewers. It was a level system, with the first submission being $10 and each following being an increment of $10 more than the previous. You do the math. If I just did 20 of those, that's over $2,000. I could do 1 of those a day and make nearly as much as I was making working business admin for some crappy grill company for the entire month. Sign me up. What could be worse? Sitting on my sofa, counting the dots on my popcorn ceiling? The local chihuahua biting from my ankles while I ran down the sidewalk on my morning jog? How about dusting the ceiling fans, starting a garden? Sheesh, anything would be better than all of that, and at least I was getting paid. It started with small stuff, chug a gallon of milk, then got to more dangerous shenanigans, like steal a bicycle or grope a stranger. That didn't stop me. Now I'm on level 43. That's a lot of dough for my math people. This next task is going to be crazier than anything I've done before. It might be the craziest thing I'll ever do in my life. Commit 3 murders in any 24-hour period without getting caught. What can I say? I'm hooked.